Everything you've been taught about success is the exact reason you're being ignored. Show up consistently, stay visible, work hard, be available. Sound familiar? Good advice, right? Except the most powerful people alive do the complete opposite. They go silent when you expect them to speak. They vanish when you expect them to perform. They give you less, and somehow you want them more. This isn't random. It's calculated. A psychological pattern most people never even notice. And today, you're going to see exactly how it works. Think about the last time you were obsessed with someone. Not because they were always there, but because they weren't. That friend who suddenly stopped texting back. That person at work who went quiet for 2 weeks. That creator you followed who just vanished for a month. You checked. You wondered. You waited. Meanwhile, the people who were always available, always posting, always responding, you forgot about them completely. This is not a coincidence. This is human psychology operating exactly the way it was designed to. And the most powerful people in history knew this. They weaponized it. What you're about to learn is why Michael Jackson deliberately disappeared for months at a time, and why it made him more famous every single time he came back. Why Napoleon Bonaparte controlled an entire empire's attention, not by showing up more, but by showing up less. Why Robert Greene, one of the greatest minds on power and human nature, says that disappearing is not weakness. It is one of the most calculated, most dangerous moves a powerful person can make. And here's the part that will genuinely disturb you. The reason you've never done this is probably the same reason you're not where you want to be yet. Stay with me. But before we go deeper, if you care more about being respected than being liked, subscribe to Mind Cipher. Because this channel is about how power actually works. No fluff, no motivation speeches, just the dark, unfiltered truth twice a week. Now let's get into it. Point 1. The more you show up, the less you matter. Here's the rule nobody tells you. Every time you over-explain yourself, you lose power. Every time you post just to stay relevant, you lose power. Every time you respond too quickly, show up too eagerly, make yourself too available, you are training the people around you to take you for granted. Robert Greene puts it bluntly: when you talk too much, when you're always present, always performing for others' attention, there is something deeply insecure about it. Think about it. The person who can't stop talking, what are they really saying? I need you to see me. I need you to validate me. I need your attention to feel real. And people sense that. They may not say it out loud, but unconsciously they feel it. And they start treating you accordingly. Silence, on the other hand, creates something completely different. When you say less, people fill the silence with their own imagination. And their imagination will always make you larger, more mysterious, more powerful than any words you could ever say. Talking less is not weakness. It is one of the most disciplined, most powerful signals you can send. Point 2. Absence creates obsession. Michael Jackson understood something most people never will. Attention is not created by presence. Attention is created by contrast. He would disappear for months. No interviews, no appearances, no explanations. And when he finally resurfaced, the world stopped. Napoleon Bonaparte said it himself. If I show up at the theater every evening, people see me and they start taking me for granted. But if I disappear for a month and then appear once, suddenly everyone notices. This is the game of absence and presence, and the most powerful people in the world play it deliberately. Beyoncé plays it, the greatest CEOs play it, the most magnetic people in any room play it. They understand one fundamental truth about human psychology. We do not value what is always available. We obsess over what we cannot fully access. When you are always there, you become furniture. When you disappear, you become a mystery. And mysteries demand to be solved. Point 3. Stop announcing your moves. Here is where most people destroy their own power before they even begin. They share their plans too early. They announce their goals. They talk about what they're working on. They update everyone on every single move they're making. And the moment they do that, they hand over their power completely. Robert Greene says, a truly powerful person thinks 2-3 moves ahead. They have a vision. They know exactly where they're going in 6 months. But they tell no one. Because the moment people know your next move, they can predict you. And the moment they can predict you, you lose the psychological advantage entirely.
There is a reason the most dangerous players in any game, chess, business, relationships, politics, are the ones you never fully understand. You can't stop what you never saw coming. Conceal your intentions. Let people react to your actions, never to your plans. Point 4. Be unpredictable or be irrelevant. This is the law that destroys more powerful people than anything else. You rise to power because of one strength. Maybe it's your aggression. Maybe it's your charm. Maybe it's your ability to connect with people. That one quality carries you to the top. And then, without realizing it, you become addicted to it. The world shifts, the game changes, your rivals evolve. But you keep doing the same thing that worked before, and slowly the world passes you by. Machiavelli described the perfect leader as someone who moves like a river, not rigid, not fixed, not locked into one strategy, but flowing, adapting, reshaping around whatever the moment demands. Being formless is power. Having a fixed personality, a fixed strategy, a fixed way of showing up, that is not strength. That is a cage. The most psychologically powerful people you will ever encounter are never quite the same twice. Different in every room. Different in every situation. You can't figure them out. And that unpredictability alone makes them impossible to control. Point 5. Never outshine the wrong person.
This is the most dangerous mistake you can make around powerful people, and almost everyone makes it. Here is the truth about every person above you, every boss, every leader, every authority figure in your life. They are deeply insecure. Not on the surface. On the surface, they look confident, controlled, untouchable. But underneath, they are constantly asking themselves, do people still respect me? Am I still relevant? Is someone trying to take what I have? The more powerful someone is, the more fragile their ego often becomes, because they have more to lose. So here is what happens when you do too well. When you take too much credit, when all the attention flows to you after a success, they don't consciously decide to destroy you, but unconsciously, something shifts. They start seeing you as a threat, and powerful people eliminate threats quietly, patiently, and completely. Robert Greene's advice is precise. Let them take the credit. Let them stand in the light. Do the work brilliantly, but make them feel like the genius behind it. This is not weakness. This is psychological mastery. Never violate the ego of someone who has power over you. It is the fastest way to lose everything you've built. Point 6. The observer advantage. Everything we've talked about comes down to this one final skill, and it is the one most people never develop. The ability to step completely outside yourself and read the world around you with cold, precise clarity. Most people are trapped inside their own heads, consumed by their own emotions, their own needs, their own fears. Do people like me? Am I getting enough recognition? Why isn't this working? That inward obsession is the single greatest obstacle to power. Because while you are focused on yourself, the powerful person in the room is focused on everyone else. They are reading psychology, they are watching patterns, they are studying what people need, what people fear, what people want, but will never say out loud. Robert Greene calls this becoming a master observer of the social game. And it is not a talent, it is a discipline. It means training yourself every single day to look outward instead of inward, to be more interested in understanding others than in being understood yourself. And when you develop that skill, everything changes. You stop reacting, you start anticipating, you stop being played, you start understanding exactly how the game works.
And that is where real power begins. Here's what all of this comes down to. Powerful people don't disappear because they gave up. They disappear because they understand something most people never will. Presence without mystery is just noise. Availability without scarcity is just desperation. And the moment you stop performing for everyone else's attention is the moment you finally start commanding it. You don't need to be everywhere. You need to be unforgettable when you are somewhere. The people who changed history, the ones who built empires, who moved markets, who made the world pay attention, they were not the loudest. They were not the most available. They were not the ones who explained themselves the most. They were the ones who understood the game deeply enough to know exactly when to show up and exactly when to vanish. That silence you've been afraid of? It might be the most powerful thing you have. Disappear. Work. Move in silence. Then come back when it actually matters. If this changed the way you think about power and influence, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you want to go deeper into the psychology of power, manipulation, and human behavior, subscribe to Mind Cipher. We'll see you in the next one.